Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. At the bottom of this page, scrolling across your screen, is the link to the Tenkar's Tavern Substack, tenkarstavern.substack.com. Listen, it's a once a week newsletter which you can either subscribe to or just go to the website. You'll see, I don't know, the video of the week for the prior week for this channel, for the other co-hosts of this channel, like Joe the Lawyer, the friends of this channel, like Tabletop Tap Room and Joe Block and Benoit Poirier and others. It is a great resource if you like getting your OSR material, your gaming material, your gaming fix via video. Good topics. So check it out. So today we are talking about Megadungeons. And why are we talking about Megadungeons? Because I've already stated in 2023 I'm going to start a new campaign. I'm going to start running it. I'm going to run it online. I want it to be a little loosey-goosey. So I wanted it to be basically episodic, where after the session I can wrap things up and then start new with the next session, and maybe with different players and characters, maybe with the same, but be amiable to drop in, drop out. No, it's not going to be a flail snails campaign. Not doing that. But I was just, I was looking. I was trying to, figure out how I want to handle this. And I started thinking about Megadungeons, and I said, what I consider to be a Megadungeon apparently is, or what I consider to be a Megadungeon, doesn't quite fall under the definitions that I find online. Well, all right. So at the Dungeons and Dragons .fandom.com, the D&D lore wiki, Mega Dungeons or Super Dungeon is a large, sprawling dungeon complex. A Mega Dungeon may form the basis of an entire Dungeons and Dragons campaign. That's certainly true. The term Mega Dungeon is widely known in Dungeons and Dragons community, but has historically been merely used in Dungeons and Dragons products, which, when we're talking about the old TSR or even the new Wizards of the Coast, that is certainly true. All right, so definition. A Mega Dungeon is a massive dungeon consisting of multiple separate layers. Typically, they have long and complex histories at different levels, constructed in different eras by different. Too much. Such dungeon naturally develops an elaborate system of interconnected ecologies. Sorry, forgive me. I'm sober. I probably should be a little bit liquored up, but I'm not. So, tongue-tied on occasion. Unlike a standard dungeon where it's plausible for an adventuring party to kill all the monsters and recover all treasure, a mega dungeon is so huge as to make this impossible. The size of the dungeon is so great that even if the adventure is clear on a large section, it will be populated by new inhabitants before they can finish clearing out another. Mega dungeons are commonly deadly. And they give some examples: Castle Greyhawk, and not the parody one that was put out by TSR. No, we're not talking about, with the watch out for the fucking gummy bear shit. We're talking about Gary Gygax's personal campaign, Undermountain, which was huge, and I know a lot of people that ran it. God bless them. I just couldn't follow the maps. And Night Below, which I thought was pretty spot on. It took characters from levels 1 to 10. Now, that takes characters from levels 1 to 10. T1 to 4, Temple of Elemental Evil, takes characters from levels 1 to 8. Now, honestly, that would be perfect levels if I was going to run a campaign using Continual Light. It really fits that mark, and it has factions and stuff. So yeah, I'm thinking about it. However, it is a classic, and therefore may have to change things up. Even though I haven't run the damn thing in, I don't know, 35, 40 years. It's been a while, probably my late teens. They talk about AEG's world's largest dungeon. I don't have fond memories of that. I do believe I have a copy still. So those are definitions there, but I find the definitions at the RPG Museum to be a bit more, I don't know, a bit more usable. A mega dungeon is both a campaign structure and a sort of exceptionally large and complex dungeon that a party may explore as part of a campaign using that structure. Large dungeons may be called mega dungeons regardless of whether they are used in a mega dungeon style campaign. And they talk about mega dungeons in the game world. This is Philotomy's musings. He associates mega dungeons with the concept of an underworld, which he describes as a place where the normal laws of reality may not apply and may be bent, warped, or broken. Now, that kind of leads into, in my opinion, a crossover with the Funhouse dungeon. I'll get to that in a second. Not merely an underground site or lair, not saying the underworld gnaws on the physical world like some chaotic cancer. And he gives it the following 9 characteristics of underground mega dungeons. It's big and has many levels. It may, in fact, be endless. No, I mean, I ran Rappanathic as a campaign. It may as well have been endless because there's no way my players were going to finish it, and they didn't. It follows its own ecological, and physical rules. It is not static. The inhabitants and even the layout may grow or change over time. It is not linear. There are many possible paths and interconnections. There are many ways to move up and down through the levels. Its purpose is mysterious or shrouded in legend. It's inimical to those exploring it. Deeper or farther levels are more dangerous. It's or the central feature of the campaign. So, but what's important though is safe areas are often relatively easy to reach by backtracking, either immediately outside the mega dungeon or even within the mega dungeon itself. This makes mega dungeon campaigns suitable for episodic play, since player characters can return to safety at the end of each episode or session, and they therefore can be appropriate. It can therefore be appropriate for open table play with a variable group of players at each session. Now, I expect that when I run my next campaign, it's going to be with a variable group of players. It may be a core 3 or 4 that show up for every session, and maybe another 3 or 4 that rotate. I don't know. We're going to see. We're adults. And adulting is a pain in the ass. Hard to make schedules. And believe me, this comes from somebody who does multiple live streams a week. Scheduling is hard. So I'm thinking what to run. Now, like I said, T1 to 4. There's levels 1 to 8. It is effectively a complete campaign, especially with a game system that runs for 7 levels, which is continual light. So I think that might be perfect. But wait, there's more. Castle of the Mad Archmage by Joe Block. I ran it with my my Friday night group, the B team, for I don't know, about a year. We had a lot of fun running that. Now, that is a mega dungeon that has its own ecology, and it's got that funhouse type of warpedness to it and a sense of humor. I think that's all right. Another possibility. Rappanathic, certainly another possibility, and certainly, again, some people are gonna say T1 to 4 is not a mega dungeon. If I can run a full campaign in it, if my whole campaign can be there, then I think it can count as a mega dungeon. Lost City of Baracus. Now I think that covers those like 1 through 6 or 1 through 7. Last time I ran it, my players got to the Dragon's Lair and actually drove the dragon off. Didn't kill it, drove it off, cost them all but 2 party members. And they took the loot and the campaign ended. Because you're not going to end a campaign better than that high note. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out. And I don't have an issue with using a mega dungeon type of setting, and then somehow the players go, well, maybe we'll explore a little bit. All right, I'll pull out an episodic. I'll pull out one of Hyperborea's adventures and throw an episodic in there. If I'm going to run with not say necessarily randomized group, but a group that can be dropped in, drop out, having a campaign world that is more sandbox is going to be a bit more difficult. So episodic works. And I still want some continuity. So that's why I am looking at a mega dungeon. So I would like to hear, and I know there's Bane Warrens from early third edition from Monty Cook, which I'm sure I have on print is probably put away in storage a long time ago, but I'm sure I still have the PDF somewhere. If not, I can probably download it from Paizo is where I think I bought it. Not even sure. But let me know what your favorite mega dungeons are. Hey, Stonehell. Stonehell is a classic one from Michael Curtis. Or is it not technically a mega dungeon? Again, to me, the definition of mega dungeon here is pretty accurate, and I'm not disagreeing with it. But if I can run a full campaign in it, and that campaign ends at 7th or 8th level or 10th level, the campaign is over and done, then that was a mega dungeon, right? It lasted an entire campaign. And maybe the PCs will, I guess, theoretically, T1 to 4, you're clearing through it and stuff should, at some point, your players clear everything out. But reality is, if I remember T1 to 4, I think Frank even said that, hey, you should be repopulating this stuff. New factions should be moving in. So I guess I had to look at my Goodman Games reprint of that and see how they updated it for 5e. Not that I'm going to run it in 5e. It's going to run with Continual Light, which is a Swords and Wizardry stripped down variant. But I'm just trying to picture how this is going to go. Again, give me some feedback. Let me know what your favorite mega dungeon is. Maybe there's ones that aren't on this list that I've already mentioned that I've talked about. Let me hear what you want to talk about. And maybe I'll do a deep dive into something like that you bring up. Folks, tomorrow night, there is a live stream on this channel. We being myself and Bad Mike, we're going to have Levi Combs as our special guest. Pretty spot on. Now, here's something else. On Joe the Lawyer's channel, which you can find at the Tenkar's Tavern Substack, there will be a special live stream, Joe's first live stream, I believe, 11 p.m. tomorrow night. I will be a special guest on Joe's live stream, and it should be an interesting topic of discussion. I think we're going to be talking about some notable individual within the OSR. Don't ask me. All I know is I was invited. So, that's what's going on tomorrow. This Friday night, 8 p.m. on this channel. Random Generated Party with Joe the Lawyer, Rob Conley, probably Greg Christopher, and a few others. Should be an interesting topic of conversation. And of course, the usual live stream on Saturday night, 8 p.m. Myself, my wife Rach, we do Gamer Health. Other than that, folks, as always, we are in the midst of the endemic. Please use your common sense. There's only one of you. We want to keep you around for a while. Use your common sense. Be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. Remember, 8 p.m. tomorrow. I'll catch you then.